Hello, everyone, and a very warm welcome back to Grow English Mastery. It's your host, Scarlett. Today, we are going to explore the life of a woman whose name became synonymous with courage, resilience, and the unwavering hope for freedom. Her journey is one of profound personal sacrifice, global recognition, and complex political realities. I want you to imagine dedicating your entire adult life to a single, incredibly difficult cause. Imagine spending 15 years of your life under house arrest, separated from your family, your children growing up without you, unable to be with your husband in his final moments, all because you refuse to abandon your country and its people in their struggle for democracy. This is the story of Aung San Suu Kyi of Myanmar, often known simply as the Lady. She is the daughter of a national hero, an Oxford-educated scholar who found herself unexpectedly at the forefront of a nationwide movement for human rights and democratic government. For decades, she was a beacon of hope, a symbol of peaceful resistance against military dictatorship, and a Nobel Peace Prize laureate. Her story is not simple, and it is not without its controversies, especially when we consider the later chapters of her political career and the ongoing situation in Myanmar. However, her decades of steadfast commitment to nonviolent struggle, her intellectual clarity, and her profound personal sacrifices offer timeless and universal lessons in courage, perseverance, and the enduring power of hope. For us, as English learners, her life provides a rich context to learn the vocabulary of human rights, political change, and personal conviction. Her story will challenge us to think, to discuss, and to understand the complexities of fighting for one's beliefs on a national and international stage. So, let us approach this story with respect and an open mind as we learn about Aung San Suu Kyi. Before we delve into this extraordinary and complex life story, let's establish our learning objectives for today's session. What are we aiming to understand and achieve together in the next 40 minutes? First, we will explore the remarkable journey of Aung San Suu Kyi, focusing on her rise as a democracy icon. We will learn about her family legacy, her education abroad, her unexpected return to Burma, now Myanmar, during the 1988 uprisings, her co-founding of the National League for Democracy, NLD, her long years under house arrest, and her eventual entry into politics. We will also briefly and factually acknowledge the later complexities and her current situation as of May 2025, maintaining a neutral and informative stance appropriate for our language learning context. Second, we will significantly expand our vocabulary with essential words and phrases related to democracy, human rights, political activism, government, and personal resilience. These are terms that are crucial for understanding world events and for engaging in meaningful discussions about society. Third, our grammar focus today will be on a very important tense for narrating historical events and providing context. The past perfect tense. We use this tense, had plus past participle, to talk about an action or state that was completed before another past action. This will help us clearly understand the sequence of events in Aung San Suu Kyi's life. Fourth, as Always here at Grow English Mastery, I will provide you with a detailed set of practical and thought-provoking exercises. These are designed to help you improve your listening, speaking, reading, and writing skills, all using the important themes from Aung San Suu Kyi's story. And finally, our overarching goal is to find inspiration in the enduring aspects of her struggle, her immense personal courage in the face of prolonged adversity, her commitment to nonviolent principles, and her profound sacrifice for her country. Her story, especially during her years of detention, offers powerful lessons about inner strength and the importance of holding on to hope, even in the darkest of times. So, let us begin our respectful exploration of this significant figure. So, who is Aung San Suu Kyi, the woman whose image once symbolized the peaceful fight for freedom around the globe? She was born Da Aung San Suu Kyi on June 19, 1945, in Rangoon, now Yangon, which was then part of British Burma. Her family name is Aung San. Suu comes from her paternal grandmother. Kyi comes from her mother, and Da is an honorific title, like Madam. Her family background is incredibly important. Her father was General Aung San, the beloved hero of Burmese independence. He was the architect of modern Burma, leading the country towards freedom from British colonial rule. Tragically, in 1947, when Aung San Suu Kyi was only 2 years old, her father was assassinated just 6 months before Burma achieved independence. This legacy of her father, the nation's founding father, would cast a long shadow over her life and would be a major reason why the people of Burma looked to her for leadership decades later. Her mother, Kin Kyi, was also a prominent political figure serving as Burma's ambassador to India. Aung San Suu Kyi spent part of her childhood in India, where she was deeply influenced by the philosophy of Mahatma Gandhi and his principles of nonviolent resistance. She later moved to the United Kingdom to continue her education. She studied philosophy, politics, and economics at St. Hugh's College, Oxford University, graduating in 1967. It was at Oxford that she met her future husband, Dr. Michael Aris, a scholar of Tibetan culture. They married in 1972 and had 2 sons, Alexander and Kim. For many years she lived a quiet life abroad as a wife, mother, and academic scholar, working at the United Nations in New York and pursuing further studies. It seemed her life would be one of quiet intellectual pursuit, far removed from the turbulent politics of her homeland. However, destiny had other plans. In 1988, Aung San Suu Kyi returned to Burma. She had come to care for her seriously ill mother. But she arrived at a moment of profound political upheaval. The country was then ruled by a repressive military dictatorship under General Ne Win. That year, massive pro-democracy demonstrations, known as the 8888 Uprising, erupted across the country. Millions of people took to the streets, demanding an end to military rule and a transition to democracy. The military responded with brutal force, killing thousands of protesters. In this atmosphere of crisis and hope, people began to turn to Aung San Suu Kyi. As the daughter of General Aung San, she was a powerful symbol of the country's lost democratic aspirations. Though she had no prior political experience, She felt a deep sense of responsibility to her people. She began to speak out, calling for democracy and human rights. Her speeches were eloquent, courageous, and deeply inspiring. In September 1988, she co-founded the National League for Democracy, NLD Party, and became its general secretary. The NLD quickly became the main opposition party, and Aung San Suu Kyi became the face of the democracy movement. The military regime, however, was not willing to give up power. In 1989, they placed Aung San Suu Kyi under house arrest in her family's lakeside home in Rangoon. She was offered freedom if she agreed to leave the country, but she refused, choosing to stay and share the fate of her people. This decision marked the beginning of nearly 15 years of detention, in various forms, between 1989 and her final release in 2010. During these long years of isolation, she became a global icon of peaceful resistance. She read voraciously, meditated, listened to the radio, and maintained her unwavering commitment to nonviolence. Her courage and resilience were recognized around the world. In 1991, while still under house arrest, she was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize for her nonviolent struggle for democracy and human rights. Her sons accepted the award on her behalf. The Nobel Committee praised her as an outstanding example of the power of the powerless. Her personal sacrifices were immense. She was separated from her husband and sons, who remained in the UK. When Michael Aris was diagnosed with terminal cancer in 1997, the Burmese authorities denied him a visa to visit her. They told Aung San Suu Kyi she could leave the country to see him, but she knew that if she left, she would never be allowed to return. In an agonizing decision, she chose to stay in Myanmar, and her husband died in 1999 without her being able to say goodbye. This was a profound demonstration of her dedication to her cause. After years of international pressure and internal changes, Aung San Suu Kyi was finally released from house arrest in November 2010. She re-entered the political arena, and in 2012, she won a seat in parliament in a by-election. In the 2015 general election, her NLD party won a landslide victory, a clear mandate from the people for democratic change. However, the Burmese constitution, written by the military, contained a clause that prevented anyone with a foreign spouse or children from becoming president. This clause was widely seen as being targeted specifically at her. So, while she could not be president, she assumed the newly created and powerful role of state councilor in 2016, effectively becoming the civilian head of government. Her time in power was complex. While she remained incredibly popular within Myanmar, her international reputation suffered significantly due to her government's handling of the Rohingya crisis in Rakhine State, which led to accusations of ethnic cleansing and widespread human rights abuses against the Rohingya Muslim minority. Many of her former international supporters criticized her silence or her apparent defense of the military's actions. This period highlighted the immense challenges of governing a country with a powerful military still retaining significant influence. Despite these challenges, the NLD won another overwhelming victory in the November 2020 general election. However, the military refused to accept the results. alleging widespread voter fraud without providing credible evidence. On February 1, 2021, the military staged a coup d'état, arresting Aung San Suu Kyi, President Win Myint, and other senior NLD leaders. The military declared a state of emergency and took control of the country, ending Myanmar's brief decade of democratic experimentation. As of our current understanding in May 2025, Aung San Suu Kyi remains in detention, facing a series of charges brought by the military junta. The situation in Myanmar continues to be one of great concern for the international community. Her story, which once represented such clear hope, has taken a more complicated and tragic turn, reminding us that the path to democracy is often long and fraught with setbacks. The story of Aung San Suu Kyi involves a vocabulary of politics, human rights, and personal struggle. Understanding these words is crucial for discussing her life and the broader issues her journey represents. Let's expand your English vocabulary. First, let's focus on words related to politics and activism. Democracy, noun, meaning. A system of government by the whole population or all the eligible members of a state, typically through elected representatives. Example 1. She dedicated her life to the fight for democracy in Myanmar. Example 2. Freedom of speech is a fundamental principle of democracy. Related word. Democratic. Adjective. Dictatorship. Noun. Meaning. A country governed by a dictator. A ruler with total power over a country, typically one who has obtained control by force. Example 1. For many years, Myanmar was ruled by a military dictatorship. Example 2. Life under a dictatorship often involves severe restrictions on freedom. 3. Activist, noun. Meaning, a person who campaigns to bring about political or social change. Example 1. Aung San Suu Kyi became a prominent democracy activist. Example 2. Environmental activists are protesting against the new factory. Related word, activism, noun. To advocate, verb do, meaning. To publicly recommend or support a particular cause or policy. Example 1. She always advocated for nonviolent methods of resistance. Example 2. The organization advocates for better health care for children. Human rights, noun phrase. Meaning, the basic rights and freedoms to which all humans are considered to be entitled, such as the right to life, liberty, freedom of thought, and equality before the law. Example 1. She won the Nobel Peace Prize for her work promoting human rights. Example 2. Many international organizations work to protect human rights around the world. Regime, noun. Meaning, a government, especially an authoritarian one. Example 1. The military regime placed her under house arrest. Example 2. People were protesting against the oppressive regime. Sanctions, noun, usually plural. Meaning, penalties, typically economic or diplomatic, imposed by one country or group of countries on another to try to force it to change its policies. Example 1. International sanctions were imposed on the military junta. Example 2. The country faced economic sanctions due to its nuclear program. Now, let's learn some powerful words for character and struggle. Courage, noun. Meaning, the ability to do something that frightens one. Bravery. Example. 1. She showed immense courage by refusing to leave her country. Example. 2. It takes courage to stand up for what you believe in. Related word. Courageous. Adjective. Resilience, noun. Meaning, the capacity to recover quickly from difficulties. Toughness. Example. 1. Her long years under house arrest were a testament to her resilience. Example. 2. Children often show remarkable resilience in difficult situations. Related word. Resilient. Adjective. 10. Sacrifice. Noun, verb, meaning, as a noun, an act of giving up something valued for the sake of something else regarded as more important or worthy. As a verb, to give up something for such a reason. Example 1. Her personal sacrifices for her country were immense. Example. 2. Parents often sacrifice a lot for their children. Perseverance, noun. Meaning, persistence in doing something despite difficulty or delay in achieving success. Example 1. Perseverance was a key element of her long struggle for democracy. Example 2. With perseverance, you can achieve your language learning goals. Related word, to persevere, verb. Detention, noun. Meaning, the state of being kept in official custody, typically for political reasons or for questioning. Example 1. She spent many years in detention under house arrest. Example. 2. The journalist was held in detention for 3 days. Related word, to detain, verb. 3. To inspire, verb. Meaning, to fill someone with the urge or ability to do or feel something, especially to do something creative or courageous. Example. 1. Her peaceful resistance inspired millions of people around the world. Example. 2. My teacher inspired me to study history. Related word, inspiration, noun. Inspiring, adjective. Excellent. These words will greatly enhance your ability to discuss important global issues and personal qualities. For your mini-task, think about a cause you believe in. Try to make a sentence using one of our new words. For example, I believe it takes great courage to be an activist for environmental protection. Welcome back. Now, let's focus on our grammar point, the past perfect tense. This tense is incredibly useful for storytelling and for providing historical context, as it helps us show the sequence of past events clearly. What is the past perfect tense? We use the past perfect tense to talk about an action or state that was completed before another action or specific time in the past. It helps us to understand the order of events. Think of it like this. You have two past events. The past perfect describes the event that happened first. How do we form the past perfect tense? The structure is simple. Subject plus had plus, past participle. The past participle is the third form of the verb, e.g., go, went, gone. See, saw, seen. Live, lived, lived. She had studied at Oxford before she returned to Burma. First, she studied at Oxford. Second, she returned to Burma. By the time she was released in 2010, she had spent many years under house arrest. First, she spent years under house arrest. Second, she was released. When the 1888 uprising began, she had lived abroad for most of her adult life, using the past perfect with the past simple. The past perfect is often used in the same sentence as the past simple to show the sequence. Past perfect action, earlier action, plus past simple action, later action. After she had co-founded the NLD, the military regime placed her under house arrest. Common time expressions used with the past. Perfect. By the time. By the time she won the Nobel Prize, she had already gained international recognition. Before. She had never been involved in politics before she returned to Burma in 1988. After the military had staged the coup, many countries imposed sanctions. Already, just never. When her husband became ill, she had already been under house arrest for several years. Let's do a quick quiz. Choose the correct verb tense, past simple or past perfect, for the verbs in parentheses. When Aung San Suu Kyi returned to Burma in 1988, her mother, already become, very ill. The answers are returned, past simple, and had already become, past perfect. When Aung San Suu Kyi returned to Burma in 1988, her mother had already become very ill. 2. By the time she received the Nobel Peace Prize, the military detained her for 2 years. The answers are received, past simple, and had detained, past perfect. By the time she received the Nobel Peace Prize, the military had detained her for 2 years. She decided to stay in Myanmar even though she knew she not see her husband again if he not get a visa. The answers are decided, past simple, would not see. This is future in the past, related to conditionals, but contextually shows her understanding of a consequence before the decision, or we could say she knew she had not seen him for a while and might not see. Did not get, past simple for the condition. A simpler past perfect structure for B1 would be, she decided to stay, although she had been warned she might not see her husband again. Or focusing on a prior state, she decided to stay, though she had hoped to see her husband again. Let's simplify the example to fit B1 better for the quiz purpose, focusing on her prior state of being away. Revised for quiz. Before she became a political leader, she lived a quiet academic life. Answer, became, past simple, had lived, past perfect. Before she became a political leader, she had lived a quiet academic life. After the NLD win the 2015 election, she become state councillor. The answers are had won past perfect and became past simple. After the NLD had won the 2015 election, she became state councillor. The past perfect is your friend when telling stories or explaining history. It makes the timeline of events crystal clear for your listener or reader. So, how can we use the profound and complex story of Aung San Suu Kyi to practice our 4 core English skills? First, listening. Your listening mission is to find a recording of Aung San Suu Kyi's Nobel Peace Prize lecture. She delivered this speech in Oslo in 2012, many years after she was awarded the prize, because she was under house arrest in 1991. Search on YouTube for Aung San Suu Kyi Nobel Lecture. Listen to a 5 to 10 minute segment. Her English is beautiful, clear, and very precise. As you listen, your goal is to identify one key message or theme that she emphasizes in her speech. What does she focus on? Second, speaking. Let's do a challenge called My Guiding Principle. Aung San Suu Kyi was guided by her belief in democracy and nonviolence. I want you to think about a principle or value that is very important to you. It could be honesty, kindness, perseverance, or respect for nature. Speak for 60-90 seconds. State your principle. Explain why it is important to you. Give an example of how this principle has guided you in a situation in your life, or how you try to live by it. Try to use the past perfect here if you describe a past situation. Example: a principle that is very important to me is perseverance. I believe it's crucial because difficult goals always require long-term effort. For example, when I was learning to ride a bicycle, I fell many times. Before I had succeeded, I had almost given up. But I kept trying, and that perseverance helped me achieve my goal. Record yourself. This is a wonderful way to practice speaking about your values and using narrative tenses. Third, reading. Your reading task is to find a short biography of Aung San Suu Kyi written for students or learners of English. You can search for Aung San Suu Kyi Biography Simple English or Aung San Suu Kyi for ESL students. Read the biography. As you read, your goal is to create a simple timeline of at least 5 major events in her life using the past perfect to show the sequence. For example, 1. By 1988, she had lived abroad for many years. 2. In 1988, she returned to Burma. Finally, Aung San Suu Kyi wrote a famous collection of essays called Freedom from Fear. For your writing practice, I want you to write a short paragraph, about 100-150 words, about what freedom from fear means to you. What kind of fears do people face? What would a world free from fear look like? For example, to me, freedom from fear means that people can express their opinions without worrying about punishment. It means children can go to school safely. Before societies had established strong human rights protections, many people had lived in constant fear of their governments. A world free from fear would be a more peaceful and creative place. This exercise helps you reflect on important ideas and practice your writing. The enduring inspirational core of Aung San Suu Kyi's story, especially for the world that watched her for decades, lies in her extraordinary resilience and unwavering commitment during her 15 years of house arrest. It's a story of profound inner strength against overwhelming external pressure. Imagine being confined to your home, year after year. Your only connection to the outside world is a radio. You are separated from your husband, watching your 2 young sons grow up only through photographs and letters. You know that if you step outside your gate to seek medical treatment or to be with your dying husband, you will likely never be allowed to return to your country, thus abandoning the people who see you as their only hope. This was her reality. The military junta offered her freedom many times, on the condition that she leave Myanmar. It was a cruel choice. Her personal freedom and family versus her commitment to her country's struggle for democracy. She consistently chose her country, what sustained her through those long, lonely years. She spoke of the importance of discipline. She followed a strict daily routine, hours of meditation, exercise, studying Buddhist philosophy, playing the piano, and learning languages. She reportedly learned to speak Japanese and improved her French. She was not passively waiting. She was actively cultivating her mind and spirit. She was preparing herself, strengthening herself for the long struggle ahead. She drew strength from her father's legacy, from the principles of Mahatma Gandhi, and from her deep Buddhist faith. She also drew strength from the small acts of support from ordinary Burmese people and the international community. Even though she was isolated, she knew she was not alone in her struggle. Her Nobel Peace Prize in 1991 was a global recognition of her moral authority and the justice of her cause. The Nobel Committee's citation read, "In awarding the Nobel Peace Prize for 1991 to Aung San Suu Kyi, the Norwegian Nobel Committee wishes to honor this woman for her unflagging efforts and to show its support for the many people throughout the world who are striving to attain democracy, human rights, and ethnic conciliation by peaceful means." She famously said that the prize made her feel less isolated. This period of her life is a powerful testament to the human spirit's capacity for endurance. It teaches us that true freedom is not just physical, it is also a state of mind. Even when her body was imprisoned, her mind remained free, her spirit unbroken. It's a lesson that resonates deeply, especially when we face our own challenges, however small they may seem in comparison. It teaches us the power of routine, the importance of inner work, and the incredible strength that comes from having a purpose larger than oneself. If you are inspired by the story of Aung San Suu Kyi and wish to learn more about her life, especially her long struggle for democracy, here are some valuable resources. First, her collection of essays, Freedom from Fear, first published in 1991, contains some of her most important writings and speeches. It offers a direct insight into her philosophy and her vision for her country. Second, there are several well-regarded biographies. The Lady and the Peacock, The Life of Aung San Suu Kyi, by Peter Popham, is a comprehensive account. For a focus on her relationship with her husband, The Perfect Hostage, A Life of Aung San Suu Kyi, Burma's Prisoner of Conscience by Justin Wintle is also notable. Please note, some of these may be for more advanced readers, but summaries can often be found. Third, the Nobel Prize website, nobelprize.org, has her official biography, her Nobel lecture, which she delivered in 2012, and information about her award. This is an excellent source for factual information. Finally, searching for documentaries about her life made prior to 2021 can provide powerful visual context to her story of activism and house arrest. Look for titles like Aung San Suu Kyi, Lady of No Fear. When exploring these resources, it's important to approach them with a critical mind, understanding that her story is one of evolving complexities, particularly in light of events after 2015. We have now reached the end of our lesson today, a journey through the life of Aung San Suu Kyi, a figure of immense courage and enduring historical significance. Let's summarize what we have learned. We have explored the path of a woman who sacrificed her personal freedom for many years in the name of democracy and human rights for her people. We have added a crucial vocabulary for discussing political activism and personal resilience to our English toolkit. We have practiced the past perfect tense, allowing us to narrate historical events with greater clarity and precision. And most importantly, we have been invited to reflect on the nature of courage, sacrifice, and the complex realities of political leadership. The story of Aung San Suu Kyi is a powerful reminder that the fight for fundamental human rights is often a long, arduous, and deeply personal one. Her decades of peaceful resistance under house arrest inspired a generation and focused the world's attention on the struggle for democracy in Myanmar. While the later chapters of her political career and the current situation in her country are marked by tragic complexities and ongoing challenges, the lessons from her early courage and her unwavering commitment to her principles remain profound. As you continue your English learning journey, I encourage you to hold on to the spirit of perseverance. Remember that even in the face of great difficulty, maintaining your inner discipline and your hope for a better future can be a powerful force. So, here is your final task for today. In the comments section below, please share your thoughts. Tell me, what does freedom from fear mean to you? Or using the past perfect tense, describe a time when you, or someone you know, had achieved something difficult after you had worked hard for it. I'm very much looking forward to reading your reflections. If you found this lesson on a remarkable figure of history valuable and thought-provoking, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to Grow English Mastery for more lessons that explore important lives and ideas, and share this video with a friend who is interested in stories of courage and resilience. Thank you for your wonderful focus and for engaging with this complex and important story today. I'm your host, Scarlett, reminding you that the pursuit of knowledge and understanding is always a worthy endeavor. I'll see you in our next lesson. Goodbye for now.